Yo, so this is my next book to film adaptation video. I just got back from seeing The Hunger Games, directed by Gary Ross, based on the best-selling books by Suzanne Collins, The Hunger Games trilogy. And I gotta just say right off the bat, it's a really awesome movie. It's not perfect, but just right off the bat, the spirit of the movie, spirit of the book is absolutely in the movie. And that's really all you can hope for. As you know, I don't really have a rating system, but if I really felt that the spiritual experience of reading the story is in the movie, hey, that's the best then, you know. In addition to, like, you know, creative licenses and ways of reinterpreting things. But as you, for those of you who don't know, you know, both properties, the Hunger Games book and movie, is about 1,000 years in the future of North America after a third world war. This country called Panem rose out of the ashes, and the country is made up of 12 districts surrounding the capital, and this teeming metropolis called the capital. And pretty much there was a rebellion. There were 13 districts in the beginning. There was a rebellion. All the districts were, you know, suppressed, and the 13th district was destroyed. And so for the past 75 years in this future, to remind all of the citizens of Panem who's in control, a man and a woman from the remaining 12 districts must be offered up in tribute to fight to the death in the annual Hunger Games. And that's pretty much the gist of the stories in the book and in the movie. The story follows Katniss Everdeen, the protagonist, played by Jennifer Lawrence, who volunteers in tribute for her sister, if you've seen the trailers. And pretty much the story is written in first person. And that was one thing that I kind of missed from the movies. The movies is, you know, your general third person, you know, you're watching, they're showing you everything that happened. In the book, it's really awesome because Katniss tells you everything from, you know, it's first person and everything. So you get character introductions, you get a feel for the world that she lives in through first person narration and everything. But they make up for that in a lot of the flashbacks, though, because the book is told in a lot of flashbacks as well. And the movie, you know, focuses on, like, the flashbacks of her father who died in the mines. Because District 12, where Katniss is from, is known for coal mining and everything. And her father passed away years ago. And then there are also, of course, the really important flashbacks also of her friend Peeta Mellark, played by Josh Hutcherson. He did a really good job. And so the movie mostly focuses on classic cinematography and flashbacks and, you know, things like that to tell the story. If they had chosen to do Katniss's narration, I would have liked for it to be kind of like sporadic, kind of like in that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, where he, you know, he wasn't narrating all the time, but he narrated, like, you know, when something important was happening or when there was a change or whatever. So that's what I mean, it didn't take away from the movie, but I just kind of missed it because I'm reading The Hunger Games again now, as I wait for Catching Fire and Mockingjay to come in from Amazon. So so there's that. Also, I'm kind of sweating off my friend Rob here. I got myself a list, and pretty much yeah, the spirit of the book was there, and the cutaways were pretty cool, because in the book, since it's written entirely from Katniss's point of view, there are no cutaways, so you only see what she sees. But in the movie, it's really cool because you get to see what other people are doing. You get to see what the game makers do, like in the sponsors and everything. And in the movie, they cut away, you know, from what's going on in the Hunger Games to the game makers in the game room. You know, there's all this really awesome futuristic holographic computer technology, and you see them, you know, like pull up like prototypes for the mutations or for, you know, the fireball scenes, and they monitor, you know, all the characters, you know, through, you know, computer chips and things. So that was really cool and really different. You also get to see President Snow, the sort of dictator president of Panem, more in the movie than in the book, because the movie does a really solid job of making the story still feel, it's for, young adults and everything, but there's this really solid adult feel to it, in the sense that, you see the corrupt president and one of his lackeys, the chief, I guess, game maker, Seneca Crane, played by Wes Bentley. You see little cutaway scenes here and there of like them in like the garden talking about, no one likes an underdog, and you only give people a little bit of hope and things like that. And it's like, well, of course, only bad guys are in the garden, talking about hope and rule and all this stuff, right? So I thought that was really unique and a nice creative thing to do. And so, having said that, I guess in closing, it's a solid movie. It is a faithful adaptation. Again, I can't say it enough. The spirit of the book is there. The Hunger Games themselves are intense, but not too intense. But that doesn't take away too much. But I would have been like the intensity, like in the trailer where, there's the countdown and they run away in the cornucopia, or there's a scene where Katniss is with Cinna, her stylist and friend played by Lenny Kravitz, and she's like trembling, seconds before she's launched out into the Hunger Games. There is some good intensity in the games and everything, but in the book, it's just more, everything's more lethal, it's more tense and things like that. And, the movie does a solid job. I think it could have gone just a little bit further with showing, how the other characters reacted, because, there's a lot of, going off, and, the characters kind of go off and do their own thing, of course, and stuff like that. But overall, it is a solid book adaptation. A lot of the feel of the book really is there. It just could have been pushed a little bit more, but it is there. And especially if you have read the books, then I think you'll be satisfied, because I read the book like days up to the movie coming out, and I had to say it really is a really crisp, solid adaptation of the book. I think Catching Fire and Mockingjay, having said that, can only be more faithful and only more creative and more intentional, if that makes sense. So go check out The Hunger Games. Go read the books, because you got time till Catching Fire comes out. Go read the books. Go check out The Hunger Games coming out now, which are playing now. It's doing great, because I think it's already pushed $200 million at the box office, so their budget's good. It was made on a $78 million budget. Some of that you could tell, some of that you were impressed with. So they're definitely going to be better as the franchise grows. So go check it out, and I'll see you for another adaptation. Go check out The Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Peace out.